while I was in Los Angeles and while you were on vacation, we were waiting for months for this Shawn Ryan interview to come out, and it finally got released. And I knew the feedback would be tremendous, but it's been overwhelmingly tremendous.
I didn't know. I don't pay attention to the numbers. I didn't know it had that many views.
But you even said you got texts, you got all types of
Well, I
things.
got text, but yeah, when you said a million, that's cool, man. It's been a while. I think it is weird, and I think people, the ebb and flow of all this, because there's a lot that are just finding out about me and Tig and Oz and Boone and 13 Hours now, and it's because Pablo used to tell me, Schreiber, he would say, "Hey, man, there's going to be ebb and flows. There's going to be like where people forget about you for years, and then all of a sudden something pops up and it's like it's brand new." I was like, that is the weirdest. It's like it's just how it goes. Because it was, I said the first interview I did at Brett Bear with the Brett Bear special had 1.7 million views. The next interview, the real interview with Bill O'Reilly, which sucked. It was 5 minutes. You guys can watch it. It was terrible. We didn't get to say a word. Bill O'Reilly spoke the whole time, but that was during his heyday. That had 4 million views, and so you're like, oh man, you just on Shawn Ryan. It's going to be big. It's like, I mean, I just want to say, man, I've been through that before, and I love Shawn
I
for putting me
truthfully
on.
though, I think this will be bigger when all is said and done
And
because it just continues to grow from there.
and the platforms are there now. Where in the past it was you had to go. You were in the biz. You had to
Yeah.
go in the studio. You had to fly out to do the studio, or if you wanted to do
Well, you
something
did
remote.
technically. You did fly
Yeah, I
out for
did.
this as
I
well.
did fly. Everything that I had to do. Well, Sean's I drove. I was speaking in Nashville already. It wasn't
Yeah.
just to go do it with Bill O'Reilly or Hannity or coming even to Sirius. It was no, we don't do remotes. You have to actually come and fly into the studio. So I'm flying to New York all the time and be there for a week and do all the rounds. And but what I guess it's a positive because what's cool is that this has brought new people in that maybe didn't know about Benghazi or didn't know about Roan or Bub or didn't know about the story, and it's brought them into it. So it's given a new life to the story, not to myself, not to Tig, not to Oz, and I don't want to speak for them, but I don't think they feel that way either. It brought people new vision to Tyrone and his sacrifices, to Libya itself, to Benghazi in itself, even the political ramifications that came around it, and that's cool, dude. That is to me that is super cool. And like I said, Pablo was right, Schreiber was right. He's like, man, it's going to go and it's going to sound like it's going away and then it'll come roaring back and then it'll go. And he was right, man.
Well,
And I think it's pretty awesome.
yeah, I was just gonna say it makes sense though because you have to keep in mind. So right now, Sean Ryan actually, like in recent weeks, has literally been the number one
Yeah.
podcast, like on Apple Podcasts, on
And he should be.
Spotify.
He's really good. No, he's
For
talented. He should be.
For
Yeah.
sure. So with that though, you got to keep in mind there's a lot of people who are checking out Sean Ryan who are maybe 20, 25. If
It's
you're
true.
20 or 25, you didn't live through the news cycle of Benghazi. So it
Yeah.
wasn't shocking to me that there were comments saying, I never knew that this happened. And it's not like, oh, you're living under a rock. If you're 25 years
No.
old, how would you really know this happened? It's not that's
You're
not in your time span.
you're right. You were 13 to 15 years old, worried about a lot more important stuff than that, about just being a kid. And but that is why it is cool, and it's wonderful. I feel like it's a blessing that I'm getting to experience that, and just personally because you do have good different feelings. I do have different feelings. Now I have another memory I can share. It's like, wow, man, it came out around Christmas time, which was super cool as well. Which John is tremendous. His marketing team's tremendous. I don't think that was haphazardly planned. I think it meant to, hey, New Year, let's roll this, and it came out at a great time, and yeah, just to feel the blessing of being a part of a reemergence or resurgence of the memories of Tyrone and Kris and Shawn, that is awesome. And to have it done by Shawn, and for those that don't know, Shawn and I actually did work together for many years. He won't say because we weren't best buddies or nothing. We were with the agency together. Um, and so to have somebody come back into my life that we got to share stories about guys we work with and a couple buddies that we lost while we were working. That would even made it more special because the behind the scenes stuff where I'm walking around and he's like, "Oh my gosh, that's Gabe's. That's a guy we used to call Pinball. He passed away. Sad, but Pinball was awesome. Mentor he was a very good friend to Sean. He was a great GRS guy to me. And he was a young guy that I mentored when he was coming in, and he passed. And seeing Gabe, I'm like, man, that's Ruffins. Yeah, you know, yeah, of course we did, man. I know Pam. And just to have that camaraderie back, like being hanging out with an old dude, not hanging out with Shawn Ryan, but hanging out with an old buddy. That was super cool. And talking about Eric Sachs, another guy that was he was Sachs was both mine and Shawn's team leader, and talking about Eric and the tremendous person he was, former DevGru SEAL Team 6 guy. It was awesome. So just just having that, all of it come together well, and then having the viewers and having a great response to it. Yeah, it's another memory that I can put on a long line of positive memories that I'll remember when I'm 70. And if me and you are ever talking, and if I'm still alive, and you're like, hey, remember that? I will. I'll be like, yeah,
And I mean,
I
you
remember.
won't really have to remember it because you just go on YouTube and it lives on forever, you
And it
know?
goes on
So,
forever. Now, so thank you to Shawn and his team. They are professionals, constant professionals. Shawn is very talented for what he does, but also I appreciate his friendship and him being patient with me because we did try to do this years ago, and I just won't travel for interviews. And a lot of people will say, "Well, the hell with you, Tano. We don't want you on." Okay, that's fine. I don't need to go on. Shawn he was just cool. I was like, dude, I'm in town. You want me to come and record? Yeah, come on in. And that was just a few months ago. He didn't have to do that, and he did, and that says a lot about his integrity and character. So, and again, the episode was extremely well done, and all your responses out there. Thank you all, guys. That meant a lot. I know it meant a lot to Cheryl, Ty's mom, and I know it meant a lot to Glenn's family as well.
thanks for checking out Battle Line Podcast. This is just a smaller clip from our latest episode, which you can check out in its entirety by clicking here. While you're watching, be sure to hit the subscribe button and thumbs up the video to show your support. Now, if you'd really like to help us out, click the thanks button below to make a donation. It goes directly to us in keeping Battle Line Podcast going for you.